is my wildcard for Haten was
This must have been filmed at the German championships, I'd imagine.
Everybody is brought down. I'm ready to ignite fire, moving and more higher. Okay, he must be tired. Let's win now, it'll be fire, 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 fire. Question the gravity.
What is that texture, bro?
Is dying. Three, two, one, count on fire. Yo, are you ready for the finishing, bro? Hey, 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 hey. Come on, fire.
All right. What a start. Alright. Yeah, so this was definitely, well, at least like the intro, the outro there was definitely filmed at the German champs recently. You know, seeing all the Germans around there. All the competitors for the Loop Station category especially were there, so I'm going to assume that's the case. So, yeah. So, Mahiro, every video I watch, I know what I'm in for. Some crazy, crazy high octane energy, for sure. The kind of style that I absolutely love to listen to on the Loop Station. Also, one thing I want to point out, especially with the lyrics, I think this might have been a spoiler to the Cube Unite battle he had, and I'm pretty sure he battled Sideshow, because I think he actually mentioned Sideshow's name inside of that track itself, and also the reference to the Warrior there, which was Sideshow's wildcard for the GBB 24. So I'm going to assume this was some sort of maybe round he used against Sideshow in their battle. Who knows, though? I'm pretty sure... I haven't seen the video, so too many coincidences there for that to kind of like play out that way for it not to be the case. But yeah, I'm going to assume that's some sort of reference there and probably a round he used against Sideshow. So, you know, with that being said, Mahiro, fucking awesome. Like, You can't go wrong with Mahiro. Genuinely, like everything he puts out is just an absolute fucking banger at this point. You know, all the way back to the first time I heard him, which was his wild card for the JLC, which is not even a year ago. I don't even think. Maybe like 8-9 months ago. I can't even remember what that track is called. It starts with a C. But yeah, ever since then, like everything I heard from him, absolute banger, you know. And also, one thing I noticed in the creation of track itself, I don't think he was using a launchpad there, unless like I'm absolutely blind. I have to go back and rewatch the video, but don't think he used a launchpad there, which is, you know, it's kind of surprising because I'm pretty sure he does have one, and I think he used it in the past. But man, that sounded like very, for just like an SY MK2, you know, that's like next level, genuinely. So when I hear something like that, nowadays at least in like modern looping, I feel like, you know, the launchpad is pretty much becoming like a mainstay, almost a necessity. Well, it's getting to that point at least, for competition. So, surprised that he didn't use it there in that track. But you know, it is what it is. It's not like it took anything away, just like something I noticed. But yeah, killer track from Mahiro again. I love the kind of style, you know, and dude, what else can I say about him, man? Like he's a real deal. Kind of like came up out of nowhere in the last year or so, and is now considered probably, well, he is the best looper in Japan, if you're going by like a technical term, because he is the current JLC, you know, Japanese loop station champion. But there's a lot of killers in Japan, right? So it's hard to say, but he's definitely one of the best, if not the best right now, yeah, for a reason. So yeah, it'd be really exciting to see him kind of like come into the Haten, you know, kind of home territory, if you will, for this competition, because I know he's going to have the crowd, and he has a style that really makes for a good battle. So it'd be really interesting to see what he can actually kind of do at that competition, because there's going to be more international kind of competition there. So I don't know how much experience he has outside of the JLC. But it'd be really cool to see him battle international people. I know that he battled Saijo at the Cube Unite. That's only one person. He'd have to kind of go through the gauntlet of competitors, right, in this competition. So I really love to see Mahiro here. I thought that was a very solid ball card. One of the best routines I heard from him, I think. But all to be fair, all of his like rounds and routines are really good. So yeah. Anyway, we got a lot of videos to go through. Trying to keep commentary to a minimum. Not much analysis in that one because, you know, it's just like a lot of the things that he does here I don't understand yet. So that will come with time, I think. So yeah, let's move on to the next video. Right into it. No introduction from Leonard.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my Haten Beatbox Championship wildcard. Here we go. So I just go jump and go for drum and bass, and then everybody singing down the triple on the bass. If I do hook, don't bass, don't win all day. And don't ducky, 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 everybody goes like go, 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 go. Everybody go. Do you also play the bongos like?
Man, all right. That's tough. That's tough, man. Thing I like about Leonard's like aside from like the energy and like the kind of like sense of like battle that he always has in everything he does, he always has like a really different kind of unique tracks and everything I hear, right? Some underlying sounds and like effects, you know, just goes with the core of the looper itself, but every time I hear Leonard, it's something different. Not necessarily in terms of like genre of music, just like the kind of vibe and sense that you get from it, right? So yeah, like comparing this one to what I've seen from him most recently, which was probably his Granby Box Battle Wildcard. You know, some similar sounds in there and whatnot, but yeah, just like a different kind of vibe, you know, from the track. So man, oh man, that's tough. That's tough. I don't know how many spots there are for this competition. But yeah, this is shaping up to be like something crazy, right? Because you have a lot of high, very elite loopers, right? Kind of putting in their name for these wildcards. We just watched Mahiro, which I thought was probably the best one so far. But Leonard kind of comes in here and brings in something different, right? A different kind of energy to it. Because like we know what Leonard's capable of live, right? It goes without saying, like, you know, ever since like 2022, when we seen him at the German championships, then we know what we're in for, right? So, and yeah, you know, every time he wears that outfit, he means business, right? Because he wears it in literally everything. Like that's his identity in terms of like visuals. But yeah, going back to his wildcard, you know, what can I say, man? Like Leonard's a real deal for sure. I really like the kind of production the effort in production. I don't know if he edited that. Probably not. I'd say like most people get people to do it for them, but yeah, I thought it added a lot, you know, kind of like the presence of Leonard kind of really showing in the production aspect online on a video here, you know, kind of going like face front to the camera as well, singing and spitting to the camera, you know. So dude, this is tough. This is like, I really want Leonard to get in, but at the same time, you know, like fuck, like this competition is shaping up to be something crazy. So something like that, as much as I love Leonard, I don't know, it's hard, it's really hard to say. I feel like with this kind of competition and like the caliber of like competitors kind of like putting in their names here, you kind of have to come in with like your absolute best of the best. There is some stuff admittedly that I think is probably better from Leonard than we saw here, but you know, respect, like this is something I haven't seen before. He's probably coming in with something new, which definitely adds a lot to it, and he definitely scored high in like a lot of criteria that I'd imagine they'd be grading for. So it's tough. It's tough. Like this is like one of those wild cards that I'm really not sure. I can see it getting in, but at the same time, I can see it not. But yeah, fucking love Leonard, man. At the end of the day, dude, like we need somebody like Leonard in a battle because like there's very few people like him that kind of bring the battle energy as well as Leonard does. So I'd love to see him in for sure, 100%. So yeah, imagine a battle between Mahiro and Leonard too. That'd be crazy because Mahiro's really good at like, you know, like his mannerisms on stage, like the way he performs in a battle. Not like Leonard, not like the kind of like, you know, they're different. They do the same thing, but they achieve the same thing, but they do it in different ways, if that makes sense, in terms of like their performance aspect. So it'd be really interesting to see like their kind of dynamic if they battle each other. But yeah, all right, that's a solid ball card from Leonard as well. So yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Konnichiwa. Igresu no Harvey desu. Yo, this is Harvey from the UK, and this is my wild card for the Haten Loop Station Hope you enjoy.
Alright. Is this just a launchpad in MK2? That's crazy if it is. 'Cause I know he has a HX or Helix, right? One or the other.
Wheels there upon these crimson fields, blood all our fists, as we roll this dead terrain, linger with this pain, expecting the mist as we
How? Okay. Alright, okay. I get it. Woo! Alright. Yeah, so at this point, like, like, a half a year ago, probably wouldn't have understood that, but now that I'm exposed to this so much, I understood it. Like, it took me a little bit, but it should have been obvious if I paid more attention to the background. But yeah, that was Da for sure. Software, probably Ableton potentially. So yeah, that's why it confused me a little bit because he had like the solo device with the launchpad, and I'm mostly used to Harvey with the secondary device, right? But yeah, now it makes more sense. Like the complexity of that routine itself, like especially that first drop came out of nowhere. I was like, okay, wait a second. Then I noticed like almost immediately in the background that there's like a laptop there with the software on it. And it's like, okay, it's Da for sure, because like you can't do that. You can't do that on the loop station without like inputting a shit ton of like effects and whatnot. So, but yeah, with me saying that, like not like talking down on using Da at all. Like, dude, I fucking love the music. Like at the end of the day, for me, it's always about the music, and using DA in itself is a fucking skill. Like people have to understand that, right? It's not like you just load up the software and it does everything for you, right? You have to like it's something you have to master in itself. Like creating music on that is probably, I haven't done it myself, but I can imagine it's probably just as difficult as it is to master the loop station itself, right? But like, you know, once you get to that point at the end of the day, it just adds so much more freedom, I think, in terms of like creating tracks, because like you combine that with something like the Launchpad, and man, you get used to that. You master that and you grind it out. It becomes like fucking, I don't want to say like easy mode, but like you look at like someone using DA to the skill level of someone like Harvey, and then somebody who's like super fucking talented, without the DA, like creating music live there, like the amount of like inputs you have to do and shit is just like non-comparable, right? So like putting all that aside, man, fuck, dude, like that's tough, because like once you get that good at creating music with software, like the cleanliness of the percussion especially just becomes ridiculous. Like it's just ridiculous at the end of the day. Just like how fucking good you can make things sound. But that's just naturally, right? Because you're using software compared to like the input of your actual sound. But I guess like you probably use the input of the sound on the software to create the music itself. But I feel like there's more options to kind of like equalize the sounds, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with like, I'm not familiar at all, to be honest with you, like the creation process of using DAW. But I know for sure, like everything I do hear from people using DAW just sounds like, once you get to that skill level of using it and creating music, it just sounds so much better, right? Than you would when you hear someone traditionally creating it, with a solo device of MK2, or just even using like a secondary device on top of that, like a HX or SY, right? So that's tough. So at the end of the day, it's always the biggest question, because like in terms of music, for me, obviously that's superior in terms of like, you know, structure, cleanliness of sounds. That's superior, right, than everything we heard prior. But then you have to ask yourself, like, what's the grading criteria, right? Because I always find it really hard for myself to kind of group together DAW users with traditional solo and secondary device users. That's always something like iffy in my mind. Not saying that they shouldn't compete together. It's just really hard for me to grade it, because one has such a significant advantage over the other in certain ways, depending on how you execute it. So I feel like in Harvey's case here, his cleanliness and structure just really stood out more than anybody else, just because of his skill level of using DAW, right? And like his execution of using it. So it's tough. It's tough. So like, do I have to put all that aside and just kind of like say, yeah, let's just grade it by the music alone? Because if that's the case, I really enjoyed what I heard from Harvey here, but I still enjoyed someone like Mahiro's a little bit more. But we're not talking like technical aspect though, right? So it's really tough to grade something like that. But yeah, it's really interesting to see that Haten is kind of using, or allowing rather, anything goes in terms of like software and hardware, right? So you can have DAW users up against just solo devices, which is, you know, I'm mixed feelings about that. I just love the music at the end of the day, and it's really cool to see, you know, some larger competitions kind of allowing that, because we've seen most recently Grand Beatbox Battle kind of separating the two all together, right? Like kind of putting that standard of, if you're going to use this, and you can't compete against people who are only using that, right? So it's a divisive kind of thing, I think, in the community. Like, my opinion, I'm mixed. I don't really know like where to go in terms of like allowing one or the other to compete against each other, because for me, ultimately, that matters at the end of the day is the music side. But also, there's a part of me that also likes to have standards, and you know, yeah, just like standards of competition, right? So I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. Let me know what you guys think, in the comments below. Also, I know that Harvey won. Like, spoilers here. Probably not spoilers because it's finished, but the videos are released. But Harvey has won the UK championships for Loop Station. So I'm imagining he probably obviously didn't use software there. So yeah, this guy has a very skilled and wide range when it comes to looping. He's very good at creating music, clearly. So, yeah, excited to hear more from him because I'm going to be watching the UK champs probably relatively soon. So, all right. I know we talked a lot in that one, so we got a few more other videos to get through. So, yeah, let's get right into them.
Abys here, and let's go Haten Beatbox Championship 2024.
Oh, yeah.
Leave my house. Leave my house. Leave my
All right, so these shoutouts or these invitee videos are a little bit interesting because there's only, I don't know how many there are now. I'm gonna watch 3 of them in this video. Abys being one of them. But everyone that I watched prior to this, except only one, has not used any sort of mastering or effects on the mic. Nothing in post. And this one was very obviously very raw beatbox. Simply because you can hear like the ambient sound like around him. You can just hear like the wind, and you can hear the vehicles like in the background. So obviously very raw beatboxing. The only person that I saw not do that so far for these invitee videos was Vokoda, which is very interesting. I don't know if this is like something that they suggested they wanted or preferred, because usually when we see online videos nowadays, especially in modern beatboxing, everybody is mastering their audio and everybody is using some sort of thing to make it like their sound stand out a little bit more, right, in post. So, which is always allowed, right? Like, if you want to put out your product, you want it to sound the best you want. So it's very interesting that a lot of people are kind of using using more traditional kind of beatboxing. Like, you think of like the old school stuff, everything was raw beatbox, right? Nobody used mastering in post, right? So I don't know, like, if this is something Haten wanted, because I feel like it's too much of a coincidence now that everybody's kind of sending in their stuff and nobody except only one person had any mastering on it. So yeah, that's something that kind of stood out to me as like someone who came from the older beatbox era. Something I can respect a little bit more, but it's also kind of jarring because I'm so used to how like modern beatboxing has, become. So anyway, Abys, fucking awesome, incredible, new school kind of technicality. Pretty much got exactly what I expected from him. Everything I've seen from him as of recently has kind of been in this wheelhouse. His combination is very similar to what we've heard from him in the past. Really like that house switch up though. I thought that was really cool. I haven't seen him do something like that before. Like usually he kind of has like this crazy battle-esque kind of technical style. But this is more like, I don't know if this was a freestyle. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, because like he's that good. Everything he does is pretty much could be a freestyle, except like, some of his named stuff, you know, like his wildcards for Grand Beatbox Battle. Probably like a flesh shape routine, but this kind of like hits that fine line. I think it could be a freestyle. But yeah, let's switch up to the house beat. I fucking love house. House is my favorite kind of beatbox, you know. Improver being my favorite solo beatboxer does a lot of that stuff. So to see Abys's kind of style of house, that was really sick to hear. I think he can do it very well. If he had like a flesh out routine for just house, that'd be fucking sick. So, but yeah, I love Abys, man. One of the sickest beatboxers. We'll be seeing him again at GBB. I think he came in second place for his wildcard this year, so we'll be seeing him again. And he's a killer battler. So yeah, if he can make it through the, you know, the elimination phase again to see him in the battles, that'd be absolutely sick. So, all right, let's move on to the next video. Okay, here we go. I was just saying that nobody was using mastering of audio, but now here we go. Someone else.
Once more. Once more. Once more. Know that I won't shake him up.
Such a sick style. Like, it is sick groove. One of the best grooves and flows of all solo beatboxers who are currently active in the scene, I think. But yeah, saying corrected immediately after, not really corrected, but yeah, somebody, I was complaining that, well, not complaining, but I was saying that no people, really barely any people were using mastered effects, or just, sorry, mastering their audio for these invitee videos. The only other person I saw was Vokoda, but now Wing is the second person I saw. So maybe not a rule now. Maybe just circumstance. Maybe a lot of people just didn't have time, or just didn't bother. So they're already in a competition. So why put in like extra effort post the kind of, I don't know them, like the ideology of why they're not doing it, but here we got Wing. You know, I don't think I've ever heard Wing raw audio, like outside of like, you know, maybe just like behind the scenes stuff, but in like official video format like this, I don't think I've ever seen Wing for raw audio. But yeah, super sick from Wing. Got exactly what I expected, you know. Heard pretty much all of this before from him in other videos, because I watch a lot of beatbox, so nothing new here from Wing here. But yeah, I'd be excited to see him battle, and the fact that Abys is also invitee, we could get a rematch potentially between him and Abys. I think they battle for third place, which I think Wing actually won. So it'll be a rematch there if they do end up battling at Haten. So that'd be really cool to see, I think. So yeah. I don't know who would get the rematch. Depends, I guess, at what point they are in the competition. If it's like the first round battle, that's like when they're both at their strongest. They have the most material, obviously, to use. So I don't know. That'd be very interesting to hear. But anyway, going off course here, let's move into the final video.
Yo. Let's go. Let me just slow it down. I'm the cool guy from the town. Let me show you how it's done. Let me just break it down. Break it down.
Oh, what?
Let me break down. See you in Japan.
All right. It seems like it's been a minute since I last seen Max, because I know that he said he was stepping away from competition because he don't want to be spending a lot of money traveling. But the fact that he's an invitee, they're probably paying for all the people they're inviting over, which is huge because we get to see someone like Max come back to the scene, because I think that Max has one of the coolest styles. Like I always say, that new school kind of tech, he's definitely in that category, but I feel like he's in a whole other level of that because he's kind of mastered it, right? Man, that's another raw beatbox video, but some of the sounds he was doing in that came off so good raw. Like that fucking water drop sound, I know that I heard him do it so many times. I know that he's very good at it, the way that he kind of implements and structures it in his routines, but that just came off so fucking powerful and so impactful in that routine in particular. So dude, that's probably the best one, honestly, for me. I think that might be the best one. Yeah, I think that might be the best so far that I've seen out of all the invitees. It doesn't really matter because they're not competing for anything, but if I were to like you know, like my fucking like critical mind, when I hear this shit, like I always just want to like, you know, force it into, you know what I mean. But if I were like, I always want to judge shit for no fucking reason. But yeah, that's probably the best one I saw so far. I think that like nails every single category for sure. And the fact that I haven't seen Max in a minute also definitely works out because, you know, it's like not as fresh in my mind as other people's, and obviously he's had a lot of time to improve, which he definitely has. Because I can think back, he had this style like right back in like 2021 for his UBB wildcard, maybe like late 2020, no, probably early 2021 was the first time I heard him. And ever since then, you know, like he's always been on my radar because he had such a strong first impression on me. But now seeing him improve over the years, like 3 years later, doing the same kind of stuff, but just improving on it significantly and adding more like sounds. Like he has one of the coolest structures I think I've ever heard of any solo beatboxer. So many sounds that you think like probably shouldn't work together, but they just do because like he's just at that level, right? Fuck. That's definitely the best one, I think, for me, at least personally. I think that's probably the best invitee video I've seen. For solo, maybe even including Loop Station. I don't know. It's tough. It's hard to kind of like compare the two because they're just completely two different like avenues of music, right? So yeah, but definitely the best solo for sure invitee video. But anyway, that's it for this video. We had 6 videos into one here. It's a pretty long video, so yeah, let me know what you guys think was your favorite one, even if it's not included in this video, but like what your favorite Haten invitee wildcard was this year. And yeah, I watched a lot of them off camera. So like if you wonder why I haven't reacted to some, it's probably because I watched them off camera or I reacted to them already on my recent live stream. But I watched a lot of them. So on camera, off camera, chances are I probably saw it one way or another. If not, I can probably make another video, but who knows? Kind of busy with like a lot of shit right now, so who knows? But anyway, that was a super sick video. If you guys enjoyed what you heard, links in the description to all the original videos. Go check it out. Links in the description. Links in the description to their channels as well. Go leave them a sub if you enjoy what you heard from them. You enjoy what you hear from me though, leave a like on this video, sub to my channel, check out my Discord channel as well. Links in the description to that. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next beatbox reaction video.